Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I'm going to be bringing to you another best of 3 from Assembly Winter 2012, and spawning in the top left position as the Red Terran playing from TSL, we have Polt. His opponent spawning in the bottom left position as the Blue Protoss playing from Team Liquid, we have Hero. So I know that the last time I casted a game with Polt, but I was looking at the replays for ASUS ROG and I was just like, Polt versus Hero? Yeah, let's just do it. I mean, I know I casted Polt already, but who doesn't want to watch more Polt? The dude's a baller. He's so good at this game. Polt versus Hero, I was like, that has got to be an epic match. So, that is what we're going to be checking out today. This is going to be a best of 3 from the round of 8. So, God, there was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, I wanted to briefly apologize because I really wanted to be casting every single day this week, but I've been prepping to get ready to go to Korea. I'm going to be moving to Korea in a week to go teach English, and so I don't know what's going to happen to my YouTube channel during all that. That's all still kind of up in the air, but I've been having to get ready to go. I've been doing lots of shopping and all this kind of stuff to buy all the stuff I'm going to need, getting ready for a super long flight, buying myself a crazy ridiculous gaming laptop, and so it's been pretty awesome, but it's been pretty busy as well, so I wanted to apologize. I am going to try to make up for it. I'm going to try to do a bunch of casting over the next few days here because I do now have some time to do more casting, so I'm going to try to do a little bit more casting over the next few days just to make up for that lack of casting over the past week. So we are going to start by checking out this game between Polt and Hero. Now game 1 is going to be here on Antiga Shipyards. Both of these players are just ridiculously good players from South Korea, and so gonna have to see how they both play out this matchup because I believe Polt is a bio guy. I am almost positive that he goes bio in this matchup like almost every single time. But Hero, he's known for a variety of styles. Most commonly, gateway units into Colossi. Those Zealot Immortal Zealot Archon is something that I've seen quite a bit from LiquidHerO lately. It's a very, very, very good composition. Gonna have to see if he's gonna be using that against Polt here today. Looks like it's gonna be a fast expansion here out of Hero, going gateway and then taking a 1 gas geyser, interestingly enough, before taking a Nexus. It's kind of an interesting move there by LiquidHerO. And as we can see, Cybernetic score now coming down as well. I think he was actually planning to go for a little bit of tech, but he saw that his opponent was most likely going for some kind of a 1 racks expand and decided to just throw down that Nexus on his own. Didn't actually see the command center trying to go down, but he must have read from this that it was going to be a 1 racks expand, and there now he's actually sending in that probe to confirm, and now he knows that that command center has actually gone down. Likewise, it looks like Polt has managed to scout the base of LiquidHerO, sees that the Nexus is now building at the natural expansion, even scouts the Cybernetics core, so he's going to have a pretty good idea of what his opponent is doing, at least for the opening of this game. So both players just going to be macroing up a little bit here, getting their worker count up nice and high. Both players going to be in for the long haul, going to be macroing at least into the mid-game. Instantly following this up with a couple of barracks. This is actually the almost identical build to the build that we saw Polt use against Taja, I believe. The last time I casted, this was an opening that he used a couple of times. Very, very common, very standard opening for Terran to go that 1 racks expand into just adding on a couple more racks, because the thing is, when you go for this really fast command center, behind that, if your opponents decide to go for some kind of 1 base big attack or anything like that, then you really need to be able to get up a lot of forces really fast, because you have invested really, really heavily into economy at this point in time to be able to get up this command center this fast. So you're not going to have a lot, and you're not going to be able to get up a lot very fast. So there's really not a whole lot of options for you to go straight into mech off of this 1 racks expand. You pretty much have to go bio for the early game. Play defensive with lots and lots of Marines. There's not a whole lot of other options. Now, Hero did manage to produce 1 Zealot and 1 Stalker, has it at the front of his opponent's base, no doubt going to be poking up here shortly, checking for that bunker that has gone down. Notice there is a pylon being placed in this forward position here by Hero, as well as it looks like 3 more gateways are now being thrown down at home for Hero, bringing the total number of gateways up to 4 off of 2 bases. Now continuing to warp in a few more units here, but oh, it looks like the Marines of Polt are actually deciding to move out here. A little bit of dancing going on between these two players as the Zealot falls. Looks like a probe is actually going to be getting into this third, maybe even throwing down a nice third pylon. In the meantime, a sentry as well, or 2 sentries are on the way right now, so it looks like Hero is thinking about maybe getting a little bit aggressive here off of these 4 warp gates now that he's mining on 2 bases. If we check out the harvester count right now, we can see that Hero is up 36 harvesters to 31. That is, of course, because Polt is, well, because he's going to be chrono boosting out those probes, and Polt is not going to be too far behind because he has got those mules. And that's one thing that a lot of players don't consider, that in this matchup, a lot of newer players will say, oh god, Terran players, they have those mules, and those mules are so good. But the thing is, Terran players really it's not an option for them. They really have to mule to account for the fact that Protoss players are just going to chrono boost probes early on. So if they don't just constantly mule non-stop, then they actually will fall behind in economy. They actually need it to keep up, as opposed to something that kind of gives them an edge or gives them an advantage. And so, of course, likewise, as a Protoss player, you should be chrono boosting out your probes early in the game, especially when you're being a little bit more defensive, and if you see your opponent is being more economy based when he's doing lots of fast expanding and things, you should be spending the majority of your chrono boosts on your probes just to get up that economy nice and strong. But now, as we can see, Polt starting to add Marauders into the mixture. He is now up to 5 gates, a few more on the way, and it looks like Hero is looking to get aggressive as he's continuing to warp in a ton of Zealots, good number of sentries as well. This is going to be a very strong attack this early in the game. Getting some lag, I do apologize for that, but what the strength of this attack is it all comes down to the Guardian Shields. If your Guardian Shields are good, you can trap Marines on the low ground where the Zealots can actually connect with the Marines, and Zealots rip through Marines. As long as the Marines can't kite backwards, then they will do massive amounts of damage. Twilight Council now coming up here for a Hero, as well as a couple more gateways and a forge, researching that +1 ground armor. That is, of course, going to help these Zealots tremendously in the early game. If you check out any Marine, you can see that a Marine generally does about 5 damage per shot. Because a Zealot is armored, and actually if you get an early +1 armor for your Zealots, as well as throw down a Guardian Shield, it will actually reduce the amount of damage Marines do to Zealots down to about 2 damage per shot. Like, with this much health, like, that is actually, like, not that much damage at all, and it makes Zealots so good at Marines. Getting this early +1 armor is so good in PvT. Now, there is one scout factory that is moving forward here for Polt, so it looks like he's going to be going bio in this first game, and it looks like Hero is getting ready to expand, but it looks like Polt is going to be taking down these destructible debris as he is trying to get defense, or as he is trying to get a little bit aggressive here. One Marine coming up onto the high ground to check for any kind of expansions, while the scout factory looks for that army of LiquidHerO. He just finally managed to scout it, and the Zealot count here for LiquidHerO is getting really high. Notice he's keeping some units up on the high ground. The Templar Archives is now up. Psystorm not being researched, strictly using this right now for Archons. And as we can see, Archon's going to be really strong against this kind of a mixture here from Polt. Archons have splash damage, which means that any unit that they shoot, they're going to do damage to all the surrounding units as well. So they actually do very well against these tight groups of Marines and Marauders. So I think Polt does realize that with those Archons out on the field, he's going to have to pull back right now, and it looks like he's just going to be pulling back to take center map control. In the base of Polt, it looks like he is starting to get up a 3rd command center here. Lots and lots of barracks have been thrown down, mostly with tech labs, one with reactor. Looks like Stim has been completed, as well as combat shield and Marauder concussive shell. So he's going to be feeling pretty good about this Bioforce, but what he's going to be needing to get up very soon, just because he has seen those Archons from his opponent, is he's going to be needing to get up Ghosts. That's going to be the thing we are going to be seeing. That is the standard response to a lot of Archons, because Ghosts, which we do see coming out from Polt right now, researching that Mobius reactor, which increases the starting energy of Ghosts by 25. That's actually an interesting move there by Polt. That's going to mean that his Ghosts are going to pop with more energy, and if he follows this up with Cloak, then that means that he's going to have a good amount of Cloak on each of the Ghosts. As we can see, 4 Ghosts are already on the way here for Polt, as he is pretty much transitioning into pure Ghost production. It's going to be pretty early for Ghosts, but like I said, it's a standard response to the the Archons because of the EMPs. EMPs just do so much damage to Protoss armies. If you get good amounts on their army, you'll actually cut their army value by quite a bit. If you check out the health of an Archon, you can see that 350 of their health is in shields and only 10 is in hit points. So if you can take out their shields quickly, they pretty much die almost instantly. And if you check out a Ghost, an EMP does 100 damage to shields and energy. That means that you're instantly going to be killing most of the sentry energy. You're going to be killing these Archons in just a few hits real quickly. And all the Zealots and things are going to be losing all of their shield energy real quick. So if you can get a few good EMPs off on this entire army, it almost automatically cuts the health of their army down to about half. So it's very effective. And as we can see, 4 Ghosts now on the field here. That's going to be 4 EMPs, and if those land well, that is going to be so strong against this kind of an army. In the meantime, Hero using most of his gas to sink into High Templar and upgrades at this point. Notice +3 ground armor is already on the way here for LiquidHerO, so he's going to be in a fantastic spot. Zealot charge is done as well. Fantastic choice since his Zealot count is so ridiculously high right now. Again, force fields so super important. Archons help soak up a lot of damage, as do Zealots, but most importantly, Archons are able, they have a slight range on their attack. They have a range 3 on their attack, whereas Zealots have a melee range, so they're going to be right on top of the units dealing damage, while the Archons are going to be kind of sitting in the back and dealing more and more damage. And oh, it looks like we do have a drop now coming down here for Polt. This is going to go down in the main, but it was scouted by LiquidHerO. Beautiful feedbacks going down instantly on those medevacs, and so much damage were done. And this is such a brilliant way. If you're very good about watching the minimap, feedbacks are just the best way to stop drops so quickly, just because medevacs, they can save up to 200 energy, and what feedback does is feedback drains all the energy from the target and deals 1 damage per 1 point of energy. So that means that if your medevac is actually at 150 energy or more, you will actually just straight up kill the medevac. If they're at less than that, you're just going to do a lot of damage to them, and it's just really good. The only thing is you have to be really on top of watching that minimap so that you can know exactly when those drops are coming and be really on top of those feedbacks before those units start to drop down out of them. Now, Polt has just maxed at 200 supply. Hero is just about at 200 supply as well. And now both players kind of dancing around the middle of the map. Both players going to be very careful with their armies. Because once again, Psystorms and, ooh, beautiful snipe going off here for Polt. Psystorms and Force Fields are what are critically important right now for Hero. Notice he is adding Colossus into the mixture now as well. EMPs for Polt are going to be so important. So there are a few factors here that are going to be so important that are going to determine the outcome, and it looks like Polt is going to be loading up for an expansion. Notice Hero is taking a 4th behind this, and it looks like Polt is going to be scouting that out. Does know that that 4th is going down, but he's going to be taking a 4th of his own at the center expansion. Notice it is not gold, but it looks like, oh, a stim is going down here for Polt as he moves in with a good number of his forces. Needs to be real careful because now that he has revealed that Colossus are on the field, Polt is going to need to get Vikings up, and there we go. We do see Viking production now starting here for Polt, trying to be very careful to spread out all of his units so they don't get EMP'd. One nice EMP does get off on those forces. Nice force fields going down, trapping down in a good number of Marines and Marauders, and those Colossi just do so much damage, but the Ghosts finally do get in there and get EMPs off. Look at how much damage were done to all of these units, and now these units are going to fall rather quickly, but the bio of Polt is falling pretty quickly to these Colossi as well. These Colossi are just not being taken out quick enough, and it looks like Hero is going to be able to hold. Still sitting at 120 supply to the 100, and holy cow, it was 120, but it just jumped up to about 150 real quick as Polt is remaxing quite quickly, and oh, these Ghosts are worth their weight in gold right now as these Ghosts are doing so much damage, being cloaked right now, taking out these Zealots, and just doing so much damage as Hero has no detection at the front of his base. It looks like he's not even adding observers into the mixture quite yet, just going to be relying on his Colossi and things and to do splash damage, and ooh, we do have a Warp Prism now coming out across the field. I'm trying to spot if that those medevac drops did any damage, but it doesn't look like they actually did do any damage, as Hero was well prepared for them, as he still does have this High Templar and this Archon in position to stop any drops from going down in the main. And it looks like Hero now currently sitting at, holy cow, does he really have 2, 3, 1 in upgrades right now, so he's doing absolutely fantastic in his upgrades. But Polt right now is macroing like crazy. He has a huge stream of bio now coming across the field here, mining pretty steadily at this base, as well as his forces continue to move forward. He's remaxing quite quickly, and Hero is kind of stuck in this back corner right now. Not good attack angles here for Hero as he tries to move in with more forces, trying to warp in more and more zealots, but all these forces are falling so quickly to the 2-2 infantry of Polt. Now all the Vikings are now landing after taking out the last Colossus of Hero. One more has come out. Nice Psystorms going down here by Hero, but these Vikings once again lifting off, focusing down that Colossus, and the Stalker count is just not high enough for Hero to really be able to take out this Viking count. Another Colossus comes out, but it's being taken down so quickly by these Vikings. Another Colossus actually coming out here for Hero. It looks like Hero is actually going to be able to hold this attack, but the reinforcements from Polt are continuing to stream across the map non-stop. It looks like Polt is really looking to pour on the pressure right now. Brilliant, brilliant play here by Polt. Very similar to what we saw against Taja, where once he gains that advantage, where he's in his opponent's base, he just constantly reinforces, takes bases, and forces trades. Fantastic play here by Polt. Now double the food of LiquidHerO. Hero sitting at 95 food to the 190 supply of Polt, and Polt is not done. More and more units are continuing to just pour across the map right now. He can remax these units so quickly, and now Hero is starting to lose a lot of resources. Notice this fourth rather, hasn't been mining all of that much this entire time, and Polt now in a fantastic position right now, sitting at almost still a little less than double the supply of Hero, as Hero is sitting at 115 food, trying to max out everything he can, not getting any more Colossi, just trying to get Immortals right now. It has a lot of Archons in the mixture, and notice Ghosts have not really been produced here by Polt. He's just putting on pressure right now. Ghosts take a very long time to build. Nice Psystorm going down but for LiquidHerO, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as there are so many units out on the field. More beautiful Psystorms from LiquidHerO, but look at the food supply of Polt. It just does not drop. 180 to 90 supply. Polt's just doing a fantastic job of trading right now. Nice force fields going down here by Hero, but despite having all of these excellent force fields, all these excellent Psystorms, I mean, Polt is just drilling his opponent. Vikings landing at the third right now, cutting off a lot of the resources of Hero. Hero is completely mined out in the main and in the natural, and he's not going to be able to remax for too much longer, and Hero is going to GG out of Game 1. Polt takes Game 1, meaning we are going into Game 2 of Polt versus Hero from Assembly Winter 2012, so stick around.